What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. So it is Tuesday. Pleasure to have you back here today, guys. Obviously, we have another day just covered in absolute blood. The markets are bleeding, as you can see right here on Coin 360. So if we have a look at what is going on in the markets today, obviously Bitcoin took another massive hit. If we switch to the Bitcoin comparative, we still see we do have some coins up today. For example, XRP is still up 4.63%, even on a down day like today. The thing that a lot of people are pointing out, however, is you are seeing Bitcoin Cash down 35% and Bitcoin, well, that was the SV. We have the regular cash down 33% as well. If we have a look at the difference, though, if you look at the overall percentage, you notice that Bitcoin dominance, while staying quite relative right now, you are noticing XRP skyrocketing. You know, if we go back to October, you have XRP sitting around 8.7%, whereas now we're all the way up to around 12%. If we have a look at the biggest gainers of the day, which I don't think there are any, yeah, there's none. Insight Chain is up 0.7%. I mean, we could switch it to Bitcoin if you want. Yeah, if you switch it to Bitcoin, you will see we do have some people up today, like 0x, Nano, ARK, Hypercash, Qtum. So in comparison to Bitcoin, we have a lot of alts that are up, but because they're being dragged down by the Bitcoin price, their dollar values are just completely shot. So guys, in total, a third of the cryptocurrency market has been wiped out in less than 7 days, which is roughly $70 billion, okay? And it's the largest single fall in the shortest period of time that we've seen in well over a year. So as you guys can see, this morning we had touched all the way down to around $4,195, falling completely out of our lower support right here. We're kind of moving back up again, but the interesting thing is if you actually come over to TradingView, whereas recently you've seen the Bitcoin, indicator as a strong sell, you're seeing it's only a mild sell right now, which is kind of interesting. Some of the things that people are pointing out, for example, are that the Bitcoin, for example, the RSI is the lowest that it's been since 2015. So this is basically saying to us that Bitcoin is extremely oversold. Now, is this the bottom? That's the question that everyone is asking. So, to make matters worse, not only is crypto and Bitcoin falling, but at the same time, the stocks are plummeting as well. So it seems like no matter what side of the fence you're on, you just cannot get a break this week. One interesting thing that I did want to bring up, though, is Joseph Young. I'm not sure if you guys follow him on Twitter, but he said every major Bitcoin correction saw a drop of more than 80%. For the first time in 2018, Bitcoin has dropped below 4,300 to 4,280 on fiat to crypto exchanges like Coinbase. At $4,280, Bitcoin is down 78% from its all-time high. We've seen higher drops than this in the past. Crazy to even think that, right? So one of the things I wanted to bring up, I was actually talking to a friend last night who is very familiar with a lot of different VCs, and he was saying that a lot of them are starting to close their doors, just completely shut down because they're just at such a loss. So if you see this article right here, this was actually reported by Anthony Pompliano over at Morgan Creek, and he was saying that fund managers, if you guys don't know, they essentially receive a commission based on their performance in relation to associated crypto asset prices for each investment period. Well, we've seen a 50% to 80% decrease in new asset values in some funds since then. The interesting thing is most of these funds were getting set up for the first time ever right in December. You guessed it, guys, at the all-time high. A lot of these guys that decided to set up these Bitcoin funds were doing it in December. So this means that the fund managers are not going to be able to receive anything for their performance fees in 2018, which means they didn't get paid. So, Pompliano goes on to explain how many fund managers may simply close up shop and return, funds to the investors. They might wait months and then maybe open up again. And my friend that I was talking to was also saying the same thing. He says that he thinks you're going to see a lot of these newer funds open up again, but they're not going to do it until we're absolutely at the bottom or we're starting to have a steady, increase where we're sure that it's probably going to go back up again. The other thing I wanted to talk about too, if you watched yesterday's video, we have a lot of issues with the ICOs right now. These guys raised massive funds. They have a lot of ETH in reserves. Many of them have dumped. However, some of them have not dumped yet. So ICOs are facing a very difficult situation right now, not only financially, but also from the regulators. So previous ICOs could be facing fines as well as requirements to fund, or I should say refund, investors at the original ICO price in original US dollar value. But here's the problem. Where are these funds coming from? If you're investing in an ICO and Ethereum is $500, but now Ethereum is at like 150 or maybe lower. So without anything even happening, you've inherently lost value. So in short, these guys might not be able to pay back their investors. Now, this is a little old right here, guys. This is from Dyer, but essentially this shows you ICO's treasury balances for public Ethereum addresses. So you could see a whole bunch of different guys in here. You have Digix DAO, Polkadot, Golem, Filecoin, Aragon, Tezos, Gnosis, Economy, whole bunch in here, guys. Perlin is in here. They haven't even come out yet. POA Network. And now, to keep in mind, these are a little bit older, so they may have dumped a little more. But for example, if you scroll all the way down to here, you could see EOS, the $4 billion ICO, they have nothing. They've pretty much dumped it all. A lot of these guys, but some of them have a lot left in their balances. Digix DAO had 75 million, Golem 70 million, Polkadot 58 million, Status 47 million. So, keep in mind, this is a little bit of an older report, but what happens if these guys say, screw it, we're pulling the plug? Or what happens if they face the issue with the ICO regulation where they're forced to give refunds? So now not only are they completely broke or bankrupt, but they're actually completely upside down, potentially even in the negative. So, buy when there's blood in the streets, even if the blood is your own. Baron Rothschild. You guys may have heard this many, many times. In fact, if you've been in crypto for the past year, you're probably sick of hearing this. How many times have we been buying the dip? But the question is it time to buy the dip? A lot of people are asking, is this the bottom? Is it time to get in? Well, the problem is that we thought that the bottom was 11, and then we thought that the bottom was 8, and then we thought that the bottom was 6, and now we're sitting below 6 in the 4,000s. Could it go even lower? Well, one of the things I wanted to point out, if you look at this chart that came out from MustStopMurad, now he was the guy I spoke about the past 2 days. He's very bearish right now. He thinks we could go a lot lower. If you have a look at his chart, now he actually did this back in September, which is kind of interesting to think. And one of the things he pointed out right here is that he sort of sees this as the buy-in box, okay? So essentially, these are between the ranges of 4,200 and 2,800. Now, although we did spring up since this morning, we were sitting a lot lower and we had a little bit of a rebound, a lot of people have been talking about these Elliott wave patterns and the Elliott wave theory. So you guys know I'm not a massive technical trader, but this is what a lot of other people are saying. So I'm just relaying this information to you. So if this is basically the waves right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you usually have that reversal, people are saying that we're only in the third wave right here. So we might see a small rally and then go down even further. Okay, now that's what some people are predicting. I'm just letting you know that. One of the things that was predicted by Arthur Hayes was his $5,000 Bitcoin prediction. A lot of people were sort of making fun of him back in the day. This was back in July. So he basically predicted that Bitcoin hadn't bottomed at 5,800 at the time and that it was going to go even lower. If you don't know him, by the way, he is essentially the CEO at BitMEX. But anyway, he was, former Citibank and Deutsche Bank trader and analyst. And he says, I don't think we've seen the worst. I think that we're going to test 5,000. And as you can see right here, Shilnai is pointing it out that we clearly dropped below that. So following up on the claim just days later, he also doubled down on his opinion and said that crypto's next bull run is months, if not years away. And not to scare anybody away, guys, I'm the last person that wants to FUD or anything like that. I was actually speaking to a CTO of a company last night. We were doing an interview. Doesn't really matter what project. The point is, he's been in the space for 20 plus years, and he was telling me, and he said this with a straight face, like didn't even blink, didn't even laugh. And he was just like, oh yeah, he's like, we could probably see another 4-year bear market. My jaw almost hit the floor, guys. I was like, 4 more years? You know, so God, I hope not, but it's possible. But anyway, so it says, citing BitMEX's research in-depth analysis of Bitcoin's historical performance, Arthur Hayes noted that, cryptocurrency markets and their current downtrend, which started around March 12th, essentially, Bitcoin spot fell under the 200-day moving average, is likely to last, he believes, for a minimum of 200 more days. So now we're looking through straight into next year, guys. So seeing that the volatility has declined, he also noticed that, we could see a $2,000 Bitcoin, essentially. I'm just going to be cut and dry with it. He says we could see a $2,000 Bitcoin, and he says that would be the sweet spot. That would be double from where we started in the beginning of 2017. Now, moving on, guys, stay with me today. I know, I would love to tell you that everything's going to be okay, but unfortunately, there's a lot of crap going on right now. One of the other big issues that we've been talking about is this Bitcoin Cash hash war. Now, on the same topic of BitMEX and their research, they have a new report that's come out that actually shows that the hash rate of both sides of the Bitcoin Cash hash war has led Bitcoin Cash miners to collectively lose as much as 6.1 million in gross revenue since last week, simply because they are feeding their egos instead of doing the right thing. So essentially, you can see right here, here's the different losses. For example, you have Bitcoin Cash ABC and Bitcoin Cash SV. So here's the total, and obviously you could see they are mining for a loss. So they say what we can conclude is that mining is not anymore a hobbyist game. As you could see from the report, the majority of miners run on tight margins, and hardware expenses are at least as important as the cost of electricity. As a result, analysts believe that a significant amount of new Bitcoin Cash will continue to be sold regardless of how the markets treat the tokens. But the other thing that we have to pay attention to is the fact that these guys in this Bitcoin Cash civil war, whatever you want to call it, are willing to sell their Bitcoin for money at losses to mine the other coin. So Roger Ver apparently has 300,000 Bitcoins. Craig Wright claims he has over 1 million. So in order to fund their hash war, they're dumping their crypto to buy hash power. So the question is this what happens when you have the three biggest whales in crypto who can literally control the market however they want, since apparently it only takes 35,000 Bitcoin to move the price 10%. And if you're wondering, where did I pull that number out of my head? Well, if you guys are interested in the technicals, you can come over to data.bitcoinity.org. I'll leave a description below, and you can see right here, it says order sums in Bitcoin required to move the price by 1%. Obviously, it's constantly changing, and they base it on some of the top exchanges right here. So you can see currently, it moves back and forth, but this is basically it right here, guys. So that goes to show you how easy the markets can be moved. I mean, essentially 821 Bitcoin in this direction, we're moving by 1%. That happens very easily all the time, guys. So the thing is you do have Colin, the founder of Nano, saying, for proof of work systems, there's an unfortunate feedback loop in price drops. Lower price, lower mining rewards. Some of the miners turn off their miners to save on the cost. This lowers the hash rate. This makes longer transaction confirmations. People get pissed off, they use something else, and then in turn, you now get lower prices. So we are seeing Bitcoin hash rates declining to August levels, and yes, some Bitcoin miners are considering shutting down. So according to eToro's senior market analyst, Maddie Greenspan, the current Bitcoin hash rate is now the lowest it's been since August this year. The drop seems to be continuing with time and is a clear indicator that some miners are probably opting to shut down their rigs or mine other cryptos. The average cost of mining one Bitcoin has been estimated to be between 6,000 and 7,000, although we know it really depends on your location. Currently, the value is around 4,500. I don't even know, guys. It could be lower, it could be higher at this point. Probably changed 10 times since I've been doing this video. Some miners have, however, decided to switch their hash power to Bitcoin Cash in a bid to accelerate the end of the ongoing battle, blah, blah, blah. We talked about this, guys. So as you can see right here, if we go back to where Bitcoin is currently sitting at right now, $4,769. And if we look at our cost to mine Bitcoin chart, so 4,700, we come down here. Even in the United States is basically breaking even. So if you're mining in the US, you are essentially breaking even. And as you can see, a lot of these, basically anything higher than 47 is a loss. So yeah, a lot of these, Belgium is a loss, Brazil is a loss, Cambodia is a loss, Chile, Colombia, a lot of these guys, Denmark. So yeah, it's not looking good right now. And as you can see right here, even from W1, I don't know if you can see this right here, but yeah, I mean, basically this is what's happening. You have guys basically just dumping these units, getting rid of them. Some of them are just, you know, basically selling them by the pound, as some are joking, but it's not really that funny. For example, right here, you can even see F2 Pool, one of the top 5 mining pools, say that its current miners, you know, jokingly are being sold by the pound. But yeah, I mean, these guys they don't know what to do. They're shutting it down. So that's not really good moving forward, guys. That is definitely an issue. However, on the bright side of things, we have our good old buddy John McAfee saying people have panicked, but there's no fucking need. We're in a bear market. They suck, yes. And not like a hooker with no teeth. But I'm 73, and I've seen this dozens of times in many markets. Bear markets are like winter. It's always followed by a glorious spring. Relax. So there you go. This guy's not worried, but he's also a multi-millionaire. So, you know, not too bad when Bitcoin takes a hit, but for some of the people that have been putting their money in all this time, well, it could be pretty painful. However, there is still some optimism, although we have been saying, could it be manipulation? It's possible, because we do have Bakkt coming out this December. Okay, now if you guys aren't aware, we've gone over this tons of times on the channel, but really quick, it provides a fully regulated crypto service to customers. They will also warehouse physical Bitcoin to back their trades. They've set their goals high, anticipating more than 270 billion in assets to move in the first year of service. God, we hope so. God, we hope so. But that being said, the platform connects with any significant commodities exchange you can think of around the world. So this is something good. And the fact that these guys are going to have to be buying up the Bitcoin, I mean, I'm sure they're going to be doing it over the counter, which isn't going to do much for the price. But hey, at least they're getting in cheap. So this is essentially what begs to that conspiracy thing, is with all of these like institutional tools, you know, coming into the markets, is there something bigger happening in the background? Is there somebody even more powerful than Roger Ver, Jihan Wu, and Craig Grant? Are there bigger, players in the background that no one's talking about that are manipulating the markets? It's quite possible, guys. So, you know, the thing that I wanted to talk about is when we're talking about Bakkt, they have a lot of good stuff going for them. I mean, Starbucks is going to be working with them, accepting crypto payments. They've partnered with Microsoft to leverage their Azure platform. So yeah, essentially they say that they're collaborating to build an open platform that helps unlock the transformative potential of digital assets. So will it change anything moving forward, guys? I don't know. But getting back to our good old buddy Joseph Young, he actually says that he had a chance to speak with Gabor Garbakh, digital asset director at VanEck, and basically in the interview, which you can see right here, well, he has a clip of it. I mean, you could click the link or go to it if you want. But he says that most large institutions do not really care if Bitcoin ends 2019 at 30,000 or at 10,000. And I'm not sure if he really means 2019, but if he does mean 2019, then we're looking at a whole year. And these guys are saying they don't care. And he says that's the truth. It's crucial to keep building and improving market structure. Also, before we move on to some other stuff, I just wanted to point out from Andreas Antonopoulos, he says, whatever your reason for being in crypto, now is the time for compassion, patience, respect. Lots of people have lost lots of money recently, and it's not helpful to make empty promises, share shitty memes, or criticize others' choices. I agree with this 99%, but I'm not letting go of my memes, Andreas, okay? I'm doing my memes. You can take my Bitcoin, but you can't take my memes. Okay? Anyway, moving on. Look at who made a debut on CCN. Did I not just put this video at the end of my video yesterday, guys? Did you have a chance to watch this video? I thought it was a really interesting insight, short, concise, to the point. But for those of you who didn't watch it, now it's in the news, so let's talk about it. So this was taken from a 2013 European Parliament meeting, and this was Godfrey William Bloom, and he basically said that all major banks are broke and criticized the ability of banks to lend money that they don't have, which is not possible with decentralized, currencies like Bitcoin. So this is basically what he said. I'll quote him. It is my opinion that you do not really understand the concept of banking. All the banks are broke. Bank Santander, Deutsche Bank, Royal Bank of Scotland, they're all broke. Why are they broke? It isn't an act of God. They're broke because we have a system called fractional reserve banking, which means the banks lend money they don't actually have. It's a criminal scandal, and it's been going on for far too long. Interestingly enough, just a little more than 5 years ago, Bitcoin was valued at less than $100. At the time, due to the lack of usage of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in general, there was no viable alternatives to cash or fiat money that businesses and individuals could rely on. Times have changed. It's different now. So politicians, including Godfrey Bloom, expressed serious concerns towards quantitative easing, a system of printing new cash, right? So he basically goes on to say, to add to the problem, you have a moral hazard, a very significant moral hazard from the political sphere. Most of the problem starts in politics and central banks, which are part of the same political system. We have counterfeiting, sometimes called quantitative easing, but counterfeiting by any other name, okay? The artificial printing of money, which if any regular person did, they would be in prison for a very long time, yet governments do it all the time. Central banks repress the amount of interest rates, so we do not have the real cost of money. So the question is, will the fiat bubble burst? Already, major banks like Deutsche Bank have begun to struggle with their finances, and some countries have opted to test cryptocurrencies as an alternative to central bank-controlled fiat currencies. In the long term, if Europe and other regions pursue with their pending plans to create several financial networks independent of the US, the transition could naturally lead to consensus currencies like crypto. A lot of stuff happening this week, guys. A lot of stuff happening this week. So if you didn't have a chance to watch the video, I basically just summed it up for you. But if you want to watch it, I'll leave the link. It's here, or you can check out yesterday's video, scroll all the way to the very end, and it'll, pop up. You guys can click it if you want to watch it. Now, the other thing that I wanted to talk about, yes, there's more layers to this, guys. You thought we were done. You thought we were done with the price and Bitcoin Cash. No, there's more. Let's talk about Tether. Yeah, I know Tether, right? So a lot of people think that the reason that we had a lot of that crazy run-up was due to Tether. Now, recently, as Bitcoin plunges, you have the U.S. Justice Department investigating whether last year's epic rally was fueled in part by manipulation, with traders driving it up with Tether. So federal prosecutors recently homed in on suspicion that a tangled web involving Bitcoin, Tether, crypto exchange Bitfinex, and maybe some other players might have been using it illegally to, move the money in their, favor and buy dips, essentially. So it couldn't be determined whether government officials are solely investigating activity that occurred on Bitfinex or if exchange executives are suspected of illegal behavior. Neither the Justice Department nor the CFTC has accused anyone. But the question is were these guys just printing money that wasn't actually backed by dollars, artificially inflating the price? That could have had a lot to do with it too, right? So, along with the CFTC, prosecutors have been looking into a number of trading strategies, including spoofing, the illegal practice of flooding the market with fake orders to trick other traders into buying or selling. Among the issues, they also examined Tether Ltd. and how they go and what their process is in creating new coins. Obviously, we're still waiting on an official, audit. And the probe follows allegations made in June by the University of Texas professor John Griffin, and he said that Tether was used to buy Bitcoin at pivotal periods and that about half of Bitcoin's 1,400% gain last year was attributed to such transactions. So this is running deep, guys. However, the thing is that, like we said, with all this still happening, you're still seeing a lot of positivity in the space. For example, OKCoin has recently expanded themselves to Latin America. Well, they will be accepting the local fiat currency, which will be the Argentine peso that you can transfer into OKCoin to buy cryptos with. All right. And this is actually, I forget where it was right here, but now I think they're in like over 112 countries or something like that now. So why would these companies continue to expand if they really didn't see a future for this, right? I mean, that's the thing that you have to ask yourself. Also, on the same note, I know a lot of people have been losing faith in proof of work coins, especially Bitcoin, especially with what's been happening. A lot of people have been putting their faith into XRP. It's happening, right? So you also have, if the information according to BitPress is actually correct, the Bank of America may soon actually be collaborating with Ripple as well. So that's something to keep in mind, guys. Another thing I wanted to point out is that you've recently had, Draper Venture Network. So they held the DVN CEO Summit. This is a thing from IOTEX, but this represented a whole bunch of people in the blockchain sector. They had one-on-one meetings with major corporations. So you have Panasonic, Delta Airlines, Siemens, Capital One, SAP, State Farm Insurance, and a few others. And if you could see right here, you could see IoTeX, Ledger was there, Elf was there, Ultrain, VeChain. So, why would all these guys be having these meetups, essentially, if, we were done and it's all over? Forget about it, right? So, we also have ARK Core V2 MainNet recently got launched. So, the official release date is actually going to be tomorrow. So, the code base is entirely new and has been developed from scratch. It has been through relentless testing and is now finally tuned and ready for launch on the MainNet. So, as you guys can see, those guys that are still in the space, the hardcore devs, they're still working on it. So coming down here, they have some of the new things. So you have dynamic fees, plugin system, increased transactions per second, which is good, new API, webhook support, better transaction pool management, better verification system, speedier rebuilds and synchronizations, and better decentralization through new snapshot system, which is pretty cool. I've seen a lot of people actually implementing that lately. So it's still exciting to see some of this tech. Guys, also for trading, we have Callisto gone live on Switcheo network. So now you'll be able to trade ERC20s as well as NEP5 tokens. So this is going to open up literally an entire new world of crypto trading as well. And if that's not enough to make you kind of happy on the way out, guys, Kobe Bryant, twice Olympic gold medalist and NBA superstar, will appear as a guest speaker at the NiTRON Summit 2019 in San Francisco. So Kobe has been invited to the conference as a special guest to share his thoughts and life experience to inspire young leaders and entrepreneurs. And it says that he was essentially invited as a guest of Justin Sun. So there is some kind of good news out there, possibly, guys. So anyway, yeah, moving on, guys. I mean, it's been crazy. You're still seeing these projects working, putting their heads down in the background. They're not stopping. Some people are saying we could have a $2,000 Bitcoin. We could have a 4-year bear market. That was according to the guy I spoke with. That was nuts. But yeah, guys. Basically what I'm saying right now, is it time to buy? Is it time to buy the dip? The only one that can answer that is you. No one knows the bottom. If you find yourself in a situation that is, tough and you're struggling, then no, don't do it, guys. Okay? Don't. But hang on, real quick. I know we're gonna do our thing. So yesterday we were giving away the Bridge Protocol T-shirt, and hopefully some of you dropped some comments in that. So let's just go really quick back to here. We'll click on the video. We will copy this. Go back over here. There we go. And drum roll. Well, hold on. Hold on. Oh, 256 comments. Okay, now, drum roll, please. Let's see who our winner is. We have Crypto 420. Geez, I tried to buy the dip about 6 times. How do I explain this to the missus? I don't know, Crypto 420. But you didn't say anything about the shirt, so I guess you don't want the shirt. I don't know how you explain that to the missus. You'll have to figure that one out. So let's try it again. Second drum roll, please. All right. You got to mention the shirt. So XRP is life-changing. Cryptos bring change to all humanity. Definitely Don Matthew, but you didn't say shirt, so we've got to go again. Guys, if you want, you could just fast forward to the end, the funny meme, whatever. We're going to do this, though. We're going to do this. Why not just boycott Bitcoin Cash, let them both die? Litecoin can do just as good. Hey, I kind of agreed, David. That's a good point. Litecoin is a great alternative, I mean, honestly, guys, if you want to stick it to these guys, sell the Bitcoin Cash. Just buy back into Bitcoin or XRP if you want to. But yeah, I at this point, I can't even take Bitcoin Cash seriously. Like, sorry who I offend. I just can't take it seriously. So let's go again until somebody picks. This is fun. What's up, guys? My camera actually cut out. I swear to God, it's not like I'm rigging this thing or anything. The camera actually turned off because this video, I guess if I go for longer than a half hour, it basically tells me you've gone too long. So winner John Doe, XRP train is about to leave the station. Get on board. Oh my goodness, is anybody going to win this freaking raffle? Guys, seriously, you could just turn the video off if you're not interested in this, so. Buy all that cheap crypto. So I guess nobody wants the shirt. Maybe nobody's a size medium? I don't know. Take as long as you need, mate. I am taking as long as I need. I'm taking as long as I need to get somebody to actually say they want the shirt. I hope I picked the right video. I hope someone beats both Roger Ver and Craig Wright to within an inch of their life. Okay. What do you guys think? Should we just keep reading it? Should I keep going? I mean, this is crazy. I'd sell Bitcoin Cash for XLM over Ripple any day, from LaxThor09. Yeah, I like XRP. I mean, I like XLM as well. Kill Crap Right from Ice David. Okay. Picking another winner. I might have to fast forward, like make this. Yes, the youth is more in crypto, but I'm 58 and I love Cardano. Awesome, Jim. Cardano's a great project. Okay. No more drum rolls, guys. You're doing a good job, man. I appreciate you. Robert Barlow, I appreciate you, buddy. All right. Seriously, I do appreciate you. Does anybody want the freaking shirt? If not, I'm just gonna I don't know. Oh, we already had David on here. I seriously may have to fast forward through this. Oh, I want the shirt. You got the shirt. Crypto Darth Mark. Finally, somebody wants the damn shirt. All right, buddy. So this shirt is totally yours. We got Bridge Protocol coming your way. For everybody that watched the end of this for that, guys, I was doing it live. I'm sorry. Like I told you, just skip if you're not interested. So we have a winner, Crypto Darth Mark. Please hit me up in the email that is in the description on my about me page in my YouTube, and yeah, you'll have that shirt on your way. So that being said, guys, thank you so much to everybody that came back to the channel, everyone who's been liking, subscribing, commenting. You guys are freaking awesome. If you actually stayed through that whole raffle, you're diehard, man. You're diehard. But you know, I didn't want to cut the video out, except where it actually did cut out naturally. But that being said, guys, you're freaking awesome. Yes, the markets suck, but we're here together, and I have full faith in this space. You know, honestly, it's gonna purge out a lot of those shit coins, and hopefully the ones that are the legit projects and the guys that are putting their heads down, getting the tech done, will rise like the phoenix from the flames. That being said, pleasure and honor to have you back on the channel again today. Sorry for the extremely long video. I was trying to cut it down, but what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, guys? That being said, my name is K-Dub. This is Crypto Zombie. Until next time, stay crypto, and peace out.